Everyone to Hogwarts and Howlers, the pottering around wizarding experience you didn't know you needed. We have our headmistress, Bathilda Snape, played by none other than Notorious Bree. Stan Lupin, played by Spencer D. Leach. We have Septima Grigorovich, with the lovely Sarah George Waterfield, and I, your returning difficult Slytherin, as Buckbeak Abbott, BJ Slater. And so we're going to be doing a delve into the Wizarding World with some extra pottering around content. Hopefully we're going to be taking our first year Harry Potter or Hogwarts students and having some interesting escapades that I'm excited to experience with y'all.
Yeah, escapades both with the Wizarding World and also with this new Roll20 technology, which I think one and a half of us are somewhat familiar with, but we'll adjust.
So hopefully we'll have a little bit of background, maybe tell you a little bit about our characters, and start getting into this first year adventure. I can start out. I will be playing Buckbeak Abbott, a transfer student, or a from the colonies. Basically, an old blood, northeast sort of Massachusetts old money house that is sending Buckbeak off to boarding school at Hogwarts to learn everything about the Wizarding Way. And so we'll sort of see how that plays out. You can take a quick look at my character sheet and we'll be figuring that out from there. Spencer, who are you playing?
I'm playing Stan Lupin of, newly admitted to House Hufflepuff. I am Welsh from an old wizarding family who, to their utter disdain, has become quite obsessed with the Muggle world, to the point I believe, BJ, you described it as being a Muggle otaku. In terms of appearance, I'm sandy-haired, splash of freckles, a little bit below average height, with just a perennial grin on my face, but almost no light behind my eyes. I'm always accompanied by my pet sheep, Defad, which is just Welsh for sheep, because that is about the max level of my creativity. And seeing the two of us together, you're quickly realizing that the sheep probably has a leg up in terms of intelligence and is serving almost like a service animal with me. But
could it be your mount?
At times, given the size of this creature on this board, possible. But perennially good-natured, perfectly nice to be around, needs help with a lot of the basic things, but always eager to help.
And there has been a declaration, I'm going to guess, from possibly the headmistress, but maybe some of the professors, that making Welsh mounting sheep jokes it causes you to lose house points.
Jokes directed at me or the person who made the joke?
Do you mean pointless directed at you, or
who's losing the points under that scenario?
Whoever made the joke.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm good.
Maybe you as well.
Oh, and also further detail, while I'm sitting here at the table, I've got a little neckerchief with what appears to be a football club wrapped around my neck at all times, which is also the same knitting on the hacky sack that I'm currently playing with my sheep with.
I'm fascinated to where this hacky sack thing came from, but
it's a Muggle sport I could tell you all about.
So I guess to add into it, I have my well-bred corgi, Charles III, as my pet. Familiar, or whatever we're going to be calling this in the Wizarding world, who comes from a line of well-bred noble corgis.
By comparison, Defad is a black Welsh mountain sheep that it's just this angry-looking ram that looks like I just pulled it in after the field. It may have things growing on it, but it's just there sitting next to me at all times.
And Sarah, who do we have with you?
Yeah, so I am playing Septima Grigorovich, who is Russian and possibly over this already. Half-blood, also sort of on a transfer, sort of doing study abroad for a year. We'll see how how it goes. And I am here with my very well behaved, according to this picture, ermine named Fyodor, who also serves as my own neckerchief at some points, Stan.
Especially during those cold Russian winters.
Yes. And I am here, you know, a little bit to the disdain of my family, who is sort of old Russian money fallen on hard times. So therefore, I've had to come to the sort of new school at Hogwarts. Is that right? I don't know.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Sure. But
Vi wasn't to school in St. Petersburg. Good enough.
And to be determined, my family is historically very interested in the dark arts, let's say, but in a purely, I'm sure, theoretical vein.
Sounds good. I mean, it may or may not be that when Septima was young and watching Sesame Street, she was very excited when the Count came on screen.
There may or may not be much counting during this recording.
Yeah, so we have, and I guess with that, now that we've sort of introduced our main cast of trio wizards, Brie, why don't you take it away and give us a little intro into what we're going to be experiencing and doing, and your role as headmistress, and what this intro session is going to be like.
Well, yes. So, I am Headmistress Bathilda Snape, and I'm here to facilitate your learning through your time at Hogwarts, where we will make witches and wizards out of you. So our story that we are going through is essentially set at Hogwarts. All of the players are going to be starting at first year and transitioning up the levels as we go through the sessions. So our first session today, we're opening in the Great Hall. Everyone has arrived from their various places and have taken the long ride on the train to get here, and you've arrived fairly late on this chilly September evening. And you have only the first years are gathered here tonight because we are trying something new. As you may know, Hogwarts has always had a very structured house setup. So, all of the houses are very separated from each other. And I think this has led to some divisiveness in the ranks between the different houses. And so we're going to try something different this year. So while you are still going to be going through the sorting hat ceremony, you will be put into teams that consist of players from different houses. We want to really encourage collaboration between houses, so we're trying this as a sort of a transitionary stage to allow everyone to sort of become team players in the world of witches and wizards. After all, once you are in the outside world, you will need to work with others. So,
I don't know about playing well with others, but okay.
Yeah, well, you need to. And so for each of your groups, we, the professors, have set a task for you to complete during your first year. If your group completes this task, you will receive some recognition and ultimately some item yet to be disclosed. These tasks will require collaboration and group contribution to be completed. So now I will let the sorting ceremony begin. And so this is going to be, sort of the normal sorting hat ceremony. The sorting hat now starts to sing this cheerful tune about sorting students, which I was not clever enough to come up with, followed by some grumbling about recent changes and blurring lines between houses, and the purity of his job is crumbling. And you catch something muttered about mixing things up just to show them. And he goes on this long drawn out monologue on all the unique strengths of each house and how it's so important. And finally, Headmistress Snape steps in and says, okay, I think we've heard enough. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so our first one is going to be Buckbeak Abbott. Let's see. And
Bree, before we go any further, Bree, I love the board you've created for this. It's great.
I'm also very glad that the pets are moving along with.
Very important.
Yes.
So one of the fun things, and I guess you'll be able to see it on my screen, but maybe you shouldn't know exactly what happens, is Bree will be handing things out, and they will pop up under handouts in the journal area. And that can be specific to characters or specific to all of us.
And so now Buckbeak Abbott has been sorted into Slytherin.
No surprise at all.
And he has received some sort of note as well.
Interesting.
Right.
Well, that seems like an appropriate house for me. I appreciate the confidence that I will do well for my brethren across the pond.
And moving on, wasting no time. Septima Gregor, step up.
Okay.
There we go.
It's impressive how quickly the Russians run.
We have been training for this.
Well,
I bet she gets Slytherin as well. They seem like that type. Not sure we want them.
The Sorting Hat debates for a rather impressive period of time, lasting 4 minutes. Not as long as the famous hat stalls, which last 5.5 minutes. But Septima has now been sorted into Ravenclaw.
That seems about right.
Okay.
And lastly, after a very long line of everyone else going and being sorted, Stan Lupin, please step up to the Sorting Hat.
Okay.
Please don't bring your sheep.
No, I told him not to, but he's still coming.
Would it be better to sort the sheep and let Lupin go with him?
Well, I'll ask him if you want. Okay, he said I should go.
The Sorting Hat gags at the smell of the sheep, but successfully sorts you into Hufflepuff based on your steadfastness and your loyalty to your pet.
Well, he doesn't smell, he's earthy.
Woolly.
Hey, they're the house that's next to the kitchens, right?
Yep.
I'm happy with this.
Okay. So now the headmaster stands back up after the last one. Stan Lupin has been sorted into Hufflepuff and says, now for grouping into your teams. This scroll will now appear in front of you. There we go.
Wow.
Okay. And so you will go to class with your teams. So to, again, encourage this cross-house collaboration. And so you've been given a synergy scroll. And it also gives you some details about the task with which have been, well, I was going to say task, but...
It's very water dancer review.
So, all right. We are done with our day at Hogwarts. Let's say we had some food magically, very quickly, came through, everybody ate it. And so you're going to follow your prefects who are outside in the hall up to your dormitories. Now, to do this, to be able to find your dorm, you need to be able to find it and follow your prefect. This is going to require a 1d10 plus whatever your intelligence score is, plus anything that you might have in history of magic.
Okay.
So hopefully...
the Russians might need a little help with this situation.
So maybe let's have Buckbeak try and find his dorm first.
So
Okay.
Since I don't have any history of magic, I'm just going to click on the... Whoops.
You have some intelligence, right?
Yeah, the intelligence roll. So that brings up the roll check, and then I'll submit. No modifiers. So you can see that I have 2 plus the 1d10. So confidently, and as it should be, I easily find my way to the Slytherin dormitory. I don't understand why this is supposed to be a complex activity, but clearly for some. Come on, Charles. Let us find where we will have to stay. Hopefully there are lodgings that are appropriate to a boarding school such as this.
All right. Out of character, I already find you insufferable, which is perfect.
Terrible. I am
Interesting.
In character. I am really appreciating the language barrier at this moment.
Charles, Heel, let's go.
All right. Who's next?
I guess
Sarah,
I can go. So I go to my sheet, right?
Yeah.
And then I go to intelligence and click the thing next to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then just click roll and no modifiers because I don't think I have any history of magic anything. And something happened?
Yep. So if you look in the chat
Yes.
side, it says that you rolled a 10.
Okay.
And so Bree might or might not describe what happens to you.
Mm-hmm. You were also successfully able to find your dormitory and put all of your, very important things for your Ermine down in your bedroom.
Multiple collars.
Things have been magically transported there, including your large array of books.
Excellent.
They're all there.
So just as a question, does Septima have a trunk of books, or is she actually has like a little bookshelf nightstand that she's set up with her?
Great question.
I sort of imagine like an 1800s like massive trunk with like a skeleton key kind of lock.
Oh, it's got history attached to it.
It's actually I think it's a certain type of trunk that when you open it, it bursts out a sort of slightly decrepit antique secretary.
Oh, I love that.
You've got a house elf?
Like the piece of furniture secretary.
Oh, okay.
Not like a Bob Cratchit coming out.
It was transfigured a really long time ago. It might smell a little bit funny, a bit musty.
Man, I was really picturing a secretary, a person actually coming out of his truck. You travel with help.
Like
an old babushka that just like hands you books. It's like, can I get you anything else?
I do like that. That would be fine.
All right, she'll stand buck the trend on finding the dormitory.
If anyone would.
We'll see.
All right, so I've got my character sheet. I've got 1 in intelligence, so I just click the little D20 that's next to it. Type of check, roll, and I don't have any modifiers, I don't think, with respect to...
Do you have any intelligence?
No, just 1.
The modifier would be history of magic.
I know. Okay. Submitted.
Oh, no.
Where did it appear?
I believe sheepishly he won't find...
Oh, I rolled a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Stan stumbled over his sheep got distracted while everybody else was leaving the Great Hall, and then he accidentally stumbled through the wrong door and unfortunately went down a staircase that leads him downstairs instead of upstairs to his dormitory. He found a corner where there was, we'll say, a bit of a blanket, and slept there for the night.
Curled up with my sheep.
Yep. At least you were warm.
This is probably pretty par for the course. I'm not that disturbed by these events.
Like, with that kind of roll, I'm sorry, you don't get to find your dorm tonight.
No. As said, this has happened before.
All right. I did not, out of character, by the way, I did not create dormitories because there's only so much that I could do.
And probably we're not going to spend all that much time in them.
So we're going to pretend you all are in your dormitories or, well, in a corner on a piece of blanket, in the case of Sam. And you're going to sleep there. And then we're going to wake up the next morning to get ready to go to class. Okay, so you wake up the next morning, bleary-eyed and confused as to where you are. Actually, you guys could roleplay if you wanted to, waking up and what your impressions are of the dorm, if you so wished.
Well, it's an interesting experience having to be in the same room as some others. But I'm sure Charles will get used to it. So, Thompson, a quick question: Are there people to walk Charles, or do I have to do that myself?
Oh, honey.
Welcome to the real world, son.
Unfortunately, we do not supply dog walkers at Hogwarts. You may pay, or your family may pay for the hire of a dog walker that is enchanted and appears precisely at the times that you require. However, you cannot have a house elf. You cannot coerce a house elf into doing this task for you. Your family must pay.
Well, that seems reasonable. We apparently had to give our house elf up a couple hundred years ago, so there's some rumblings of some sort.
Does anybody else have any things that they find interesting about their dorms?
Or lack thereof. Sarah, you go on ahead. You clearly those who actually slept in beds probably had a better night's sleep than I did.
Fyodor and I were quite happy with our lodgings and settled in with a good book at the end of the night, although we do not understand this English food. We are very much missing our borscht right now.
Well, Stan wakes up with the sunlight hitting his eyes, and you know what? It's kind of a feeling of comfort. This reminds him a lot of when he would be back on his family farm, just going to sleep in the barn with the animals. And so he wakes up, he reaches into the sheep's fur where he stores all of his things, the sheep's wool, pulls out a snack and starts eating that, while at the same time maybe pulling out a piece of wood and a knife and just starts whittling something until waiting for the day to keep going on. His sheep traveling case.
Around, Stan.
Yeah. So, yep, just eating some maybe somewhat woolly jerky while just whittling in the morning, waiting for the day to start.
I would like to point out that Septima is now edging away from Dan.
Sorry, sheep's coming.
Oh no.
Sheep is very curious.
So the headmistress does rounds every morning through the castle, and she happens by the corridor in which Stan is sleeping. She says, "Young man, what are you doing outside of your dorm?"
Well, I figured this was kind of a roughing it kind of thing, and I found this nice corner, and I really appreciate the atmosphere you guys kind of paint here. It's really nice.
Oh
Oh,
my. Oh dear. We supply beds for all of our students.
oh wow, man, this
Yeah.
place is really nice. Um, could you tell the sheep where we're supposed to go? I'll just follow him.
Oh, the sheep really, really
Th-
should
th-
be out the barn.
no, this is Defad. He goes everywhere with me. I've got a bit of a card here that explains that I need him to help me with things. I think it was some kind of special. It's a D word. Uh, Special permission for the sheep to be with me.
Ah, I see. I will have to take this up with our Care of Magical Creatures professor. But for right now, the sheep may stay with you.
Thank you.
Perhaps you could give it a bath.
Sure. I'll talk with him about it, see if he's okay with it.
In the meantime, you should probably hurry along to your first class.
Okay.
And for first years, that will be charms. So now at this point, you've all successfully rolled out of bed or rolled off of the floor, and you are going to roll to be able to find your way to your first class. Now you do have your class list, so you know where you're going. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be in charms. So you get to roll to find your way to class. That is going to be a 1d10 plus your intelligence score plus history of magic if you have any.
So the same thing that we had before.
Same thing. Yep. Basically, history of magic kind of is your knowledge about the magical world around you.
Just to ask, for each of our die, are they coded as D10s just by clicking on them, or do I need to change them? Okay. Let's roll. Damn.
Oh no.
It's a rough first year for Stan. If one of you would just happen to see me when you're going by and just drag me in the right direction.
Well,
Theodore will show you the way.
it's interesting that the Welshman can't find his way. I'm sure it'll be a charming class, though.
You'll understand. Defad's confused. He's not been here before. You'll understand. You'll understand it eventually.
So fortunately, Septima and Buckbeak are successfully able to slide into their seats before the start of Charms class. They're very excited to be there. Unfortunately, it completely turned around. And
does anybody hear a sheep wandering around?
You guys look out the window, and I'm just in the central grounds wandering around. There's just so many nice things here.
Just sat down.
Look at all these things. I'm just walking around chewing on the jerky still.
Oh God. All right. Well.
Someone roll to yell out the window at me.
And yeah. You know what?
Can I send Fyodor to get you on the way?
Yes, absolutely.
It seems a little bit early for him to be put out to pasture.
Oh God, if Buckbeak's gonna be focused on pungs, I'm gonna like your character even less.
All right, you are going to roll a 1d10 plus your intelligence plus your Care of Magical Creatures, which I don't think you have any.
That's actually
to send Theodore out to find.
Oh, I am? Okay.
Yes.
So I go to the intelligence one again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on, Sarah. I want to go to school.
I'm trying, buddy. I don't understand what's going on with the Welshman, but
he's having
rough.
A great day.
But
he's really confused.
Bad for him.
Hey.
Excellent. Okay, the Ermine has found Stan.
So can
He's right over here.
Can Can our pets or familiars talk?
I don't
Probably with
know.
each other.
Can they? Let's see. Sorry, a little bit of game mechanics because I'm not entirely sure how quite to do this.
Oops.
Okay. Are you guys now on charms or in charms?
Yes.
We have classes.
It looks like it.
All right. I have put all of the creatures around somewhere. Perfect.
Charles, here by me. Please don't interact with that interesting smelling goat. Is that a goat?
I see you don't know much about the Muggle world. This is actually a black Welsh mountain sheep. It's the classic sheep of my homeland, which I can tell you all about. But, of course goes on.
Your homeland?
Oh, wait. I mean, I'm not going to fake it. Unlike you guys who actually can do accents, okay? I'm not even going to pretend to do a Welsh accent. Let's go country bumpkin. Let's try that.
Spencer, I have done literally 3 words in a sort of Ukrainian
and
accent.
It's been great. Well, I'm from Wales, so
Yeah, I like that your Welsh accent has actually become a sort of like pseudo-Southern cowboy.
Yeah, that's what we're going with.
That's on brand. I like it.
Go on, bumpkin.
So is that Northern Britain?
Actually, remind me, Hogwarts is in Scotland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, it's down in the south. Do you know where England is?
Yes.
It's next to that. If you just keep walking left, you'll eventually get there, which I've done several times.
Oh, okay. But when you say I thought Britain and England were the same thing, but okay. Anyway.
There's so much I can tell you later. What are you doing for after dinner? I can tell you all about the Muggle world. It'll be great.
Pretty sure I'm going back to my dorm, as we are presumably required to do.
I just heard that. Apparently this place comes with beds. That's just so great.
Yes, it is quite great. Miss, with the ferret? Is that?
I think you'll find it's an ermine.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Very well bred ferret. Sorry, what was your name?
My name is Septima Grigorovich.
Can you say that again?
Septima.
Mm-hmm.
Grigorovich.
Okay. Do you have anything shorter?
No.
Timmy, Stan. It'll be fine.
Oh,
just
Timmy.
Call her Timmy.
Perfect. Hi, Timmy. I'm Stan.
I don't know what I'm going to do here. How have I come to arrive here?
And I didn't get your name. What's your name?
Oh, mine? It's Buckbeak. I didn't know if you were talking to me or the young lady next to me. It's sort of hard to tell where you're looking.
Hi, Angelina. I just got sorted into Gryffindor.
Hi, Angelina.
Oh, that must be very exciting for you.
It is. Aren't you so excited to be here?
Wait, you're willing to call this woman Angelina instead of Angie, and you can't manage Septima?
I wasn't the one that couldn't manage.
Well, then why did you butt in?
I was just trying to help Stan.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Were you?
Clearly, what else would I be doing?
Yeah, this Bucky seems like a great guy.
Oh, God.
Is that your nickname, Bucky? Oh, how cute.
I thought of it myself.
I guess we're proud of you, Stan. I would prefer Buckbeak, but I guess I could tolerate Bucky.
It's better than the alternative, which is Beaky.
That's fair. I guess in that vein, would you prefer Septi?
No. Timmy is not even vaguely adequate, but better.
Well, I guess it's nice to meet you, Angelina. Hopefully Stan will be able to remember all of that, but we will see. I'm sure he'll come up with something for you, if not.
You see me diligently just pronouncing out each part of the name. Really working hard to remember these names. Each syllable just carefully set out.
Professor Flitwick taps his wand on the desk and said, "Class, please come to order. Welcome to your first class at Hogwarts. The goal today is to practice lighting a candle. For this, you will be using the fire-making charm. This is a very important foundational skill at Hogwarts, and while last night we lit all of the candles in your dorms for you, from now on you will be lighting your own candles, which means you need to master this skill. Would anyone like to demonstrate for the class, if you already know this skill? As a reminder, so no one lights us on fire, you are going to point your wand at the candle tip and say incendio as you swish and flick.
I don't have any skill in this. Do you guys have any skill in this particular charm?
Do I just get to choose to volunteer, or do I have to have some like?
Oh, you can choose to volunteer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think that I can do this.
Okay.
In the dark depths of that's not Russian. Hold on.
No voice actors here.
Whoa. Oh my God. Never mind. In the dark depths of the Russian winters, we have to. I am out of it. We have to light many candles. Also, it looks like Fyodor's tail is about to be lit on fire here. So
there we go.
So you are going to roll for fire making charm, which is a 1d10 plus your intelligence plus your power plus charm, whatever you have in charm. Charms.
Stan would like to applaud to encourage her.
So do I roll
personal?
So there's a charms casting that is under your intelligence.
That should do it.
Okay. Oh, so I just click that button.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then I just do roll.
Yep.
And then do I have any modifiers?
Modifiers will probably be something else. So like if Bree says that you have like advantage or like a +1 on this check, then that would be that modifier.
You're a charms master though, so does that have any influence?
Yes, she does get +1 for that, but it should, I think, be incorporated in because it's on your sheet. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, let's try it without then.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you see the 3 + 1.
Oh, interesting. It didn't pick up on the charms.
Okay, so just add a +1 do it again and add a +1 modifier.
Okay. So charms casting.
Or just add
you can just add 1 to that.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, is that what would have happened? Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be a 13 then?
Nice.
Oh, congratulations. Very nice, Septima. That was a beautiful flame. Now, because you all don't have enough charms capacity to have the counterspell, which seems a bit weird, but whatever, it's fine. You will learn the counterspell Extinguer later. For now, you will use the candle snuffer on the bench to extinguish your flame that you have created. Very, very nicely done.
Yay! Stan is happily applauding.
Thank you, strange Welshman.
That was really good, Timmy. Sorry. Septima.
Thank you, Stan. This will be helpful for you to learn in case you get lost again.
Hey, Stan will volunteer to go next, because sure, let's see how that goes. But yeah, whenever I'm out herding sheep out in the countryside, every now and then we'll get a bit lost coming back home. So I'll make a fire so we all can get warm. So I'm really good at making fires. So let's see if I can try to make a magical fire. Let's see how that goes. So this charms casting.
I assume that the sheep's dip does not quite work the same as a charm.
Bucky, we're about to find out. All right, roll.
Buckle up, Bucky.
Yeah. Oh, Stan wishes he'd be clever enough to think of that. All right,
I'm gonna retreat from the table.
All right, I have no modifiers because I've got no skills, and my mastery is creature and to be determined. So no. Okay, let's see how this goes. Nope.
Oh my
God.
I think you're supposed to wave your wand about before.
Oh God, fire!
No.
Oh my! Oh, Stan. Oh well, that's unanticipated. Extinguer. Shoom. Okay, that has been managed, shall we say?
There is no soot there.
-20 to what was your house again? Hufflepuff?
Yep.
Huff and puff and blow this house down. -20 to Hufflepuff. Stan, we'll have to try that again.
Okay, I'll do better next time.
Angelina, do you want to light that candle quickly? I'd like to see how you do it.
Yes, when I'm not having difficulties. Here we go. Oh, Bucky, yes, I would love to do that. I think I can light this.
Stan starts applauding.
All right. Now I have to try and do this.
It might be easier for you to just type. That's what I usually have done as GM, because I'm lazy.
Yeah, it might be.
I think that'll do it.
Oh, that's a nice flame there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very nice, Angelina. Very nice.
Great job, Angie.
You have successfully practiced.
So I'm going to.
Sufficient, I suppose.
So hold up. So I'm going to wait till Professor Flitwick is paying attention to another student.
Okay, well, he is currently congratulating Angelina on her lighting and is going to extinguish the light, although it doesn't actually go over it, which is really kind of funny.
And one
Professor Flitwick, I can't quite get it to cover the flame. Extinguer. Okay, it's out. Who would like to go next?
So I'll go next.
Yeah, Bucky.
And charms casting, roll.
I think I'll probably do it. This is a D10, right?
You're not quite as skilled at that as I think you thought you were. You're going to have to try and do that again. So very importantly, it's a swish and a flick, as you say incendio.
That's exactly what I did. Swish, flick, incendio.
These Americans.
Come on,
Maybe
Bucky,
I should have been French. I don't understand why.
See, there we go.
Yes.
This wasn't that complicated.
Quite nice, young man. Quite nice. With the proper concentration, I believe you can really succeed in this class. I think we have the young Hufflepuff needs to go.
God, Stan's getting a second attempt.
Yes, you all have to learn this or you can't light your dorms.
All right. Stan briefly goes down, hugs the sheep for encouragement. Gets ready to roll. I think that is just enough.
Mr. Lupin.
Stan's very proud.
You did not. So did you see it had a little flash of light, but it guttered and now it's out again. So that wasn't really a successful charm.
Oh,
I think you need to not smell quite so much like sheep when you do it.
Sheep has anti-magical properties.
You might also take the muggle scarf that you have on. You might take that off. I think it might help you focus on being a wizard.
Oh.
It might be impeding your hand movement.
Yes.
No, I don't know if that's the impedance that's causing the biggest problem for you.
We do really need to have you be able to light this, so.
Oh man, this is a rough day for Stan. All right.
I'd rather you try it under supervision.
All right, Stan sadly takes off his scarf. Goes again. We are improving.
Oh, yes. Very good. Very good. That was successfully done. Adequately done, but successfully.
Thank you, sir.
So as soon as Flitwick wanders away...
Yes, he's off to the next set of students.
As I did not extinguish my candle flame, I'm going to cast the extinguish charm and see if I can get that to work.
Okay.
And so what I didn't realize before is I believe I should have a +1 to doing a new spell because of my wand.
Yes, you should.
Is that because of your core?
But now you don't get that anymore.
What? Why not?
Because you already cast it. I assume it's a one-time.
Right. It's a one-time thing, but so I'm doing the extinguish.
Yeah. That is new.
Just to know, is that due to the wood of your wand or the core?
It's due to the sycamore.
Okay.
So
I'll need to actually double check what mine does. I don't remember.
So apparently you get a +1 to a new spell and a -1 to the same spell.
Oh, interesting.
I can check that for the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh, good God. Every light in the room goes out.
Well, so I feel like a higher check should be
more precise.
Yes, you did just barely make it. But you did.
There we are. As you see, this is the way it should be done.
Did the rest of us notice you do that?
I wasn't hiding it from you, so.
Oh, wow. Bucky, that was really impressive.
There's literally no reason to be extinguishing these lights right now.
I mean, the whole point is to know what, to be able to cast spells and know what's going on. So I see no reason not to learn as much as I possibly can. I mean, these classes are a little bit slow for whatever reason, but the more I can understand, the quicker this will go. And the less homework I presumably will have to do.
Bucky, you didn't make the first spell work right the first time. So I think maybe there are some things you need to learn from these classes, just like all of us.
Yeah, I guess my accent doesn't translate well.
These Americans are always moving on to the next thing.
Mm.
What happened to tradition? The old ways. The dark
I'm with you there,
ways.
Seppi.
So I'm actually really curious about how they did this new sorting hat thing. Did anybody else get a note?
Oh, yeah, actually.
What was that, Angelina? A note?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Passed to me, like it appeared in my robes after the sorting hat told me I was a Gryffindor.
Interesting.
Yeah, Angie, I got one, but what does yours say?
Mine says, location. Study the castle maps using your vocation. What in the hell does that mean?
I mean...
Do not look at Stan.
Isn't that like your job?
It's not mine. I'm not very good at studying.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure somebody could help you. Timmy seems like she'd be good at studying. I mean, that looks
Are
like a
you
couple
good
of
at
books in her
studying?
pocket.
Do you want to study buddies?
Not particularly, but I will.
If we all make a study group together, I'll volunteer to bring snacks every time.
They can't come out of the sheep, Stan.
No, 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 no. I'm next to the kitchens. I will make fresh snacks for everybody.
Oh,
Do you remember how to get to your common room?
can
I've
you?
never actually been to the common room,
I
but
think there are people that prepare food um, for us. So maybe ask them rather than
okay.
making it yourself.
I'll ask them, and I'll even help to make some extra special stuff too.
I don't think you're allowed to help them, Stan.
Maybe we just haven't asked yet.
No, I really don't think we're allowed to help. That
I
would
think
definitely be against the regulations.
I think I think Stan, you should ask to help. I'm sure they would love your help.
Yeah, I find that if you just ask people if they need any help, lots of people need help.
And I bet your sheep could even be a real big help in the kitchen. So what was his name again?
Oh, one second. Sorry, I actually lost my feed for a second. My sheep's name is Defod.
Ah,
And yeah, he's actually really experienced in cooking. He helps me cook all
I
kinds of
bet
stuff all the time.
I bet he's really good in the kitchen.
Yeah. Bucky, I think that's a great idea. After this class, well, assuming I can get somebody to help me find my common room, I will go check out the kitchens and see if they need any help. And yeah, I'm sure Devad and I can help them with all kinds of Muggle dishes that they've maybe not even heard of before.
I'm excited. Let me know what snacks they have you help with.
Well, I mean, does this mean that you agree we should all do a study group together?
I think you were making snacks, but I guess I could. I'm sure I won't need to really study, so I could show up.
Well, Stan really generously offered to bring us all snacks, so
That is
great idea.
nice of him.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it's worth going over what I already know, but if it would help.
Well, I need your help to figure out my sorting hat note. That is for sure.
Yes, that'll be. We definitely will have to figure that out. Stan, you said you also got a note.
I did.
Need help reading that?
No, I can read. Thank you for the offer of help, though. Out of curiosity, I'm kind of out of character. I'm a bit divided in my mind. Would I catch the Macbeth reference at the first 2 lines of this? Because I'm really into Muggle stuff, and it's part of English history, so I might.
It's certainly up to you.
Okay. Well,
I feel like Stan might read a lot of poetry, like on the Welsh hillsides.
Yeah, what do you think you would do with this information?
I'm thinking I'm catching the reference. Well, I got a note too, and it's from my favorite plays, Macbeth. When I'm out there with the sheep, I read a lot of old British literature. It is double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, dried pillars of cat, don't make it in a hat.
Interesting.
So first part's Macbeth, the second part's about a cat in a hat, which is another thing I read when I'm out there too.
I don't understand you.
Well, but we're going to spend lots of time together with snacks, and so I hope you will.
Okay. Did we all get notes, or is it just the ones that need it?
I suppose I did receive a note, yes.
That's under your handouts.
Although these English words, I don't know. What you seek has been hidden. Perhaps you should check the midden.
Oh,
that can't be a real word.
I'm surprised that Stan didn't get that one. I guess I
do seem a bit odd. I wonder if the Sorting Hat wasn't very good about who it gave things to. It did say something about mixing things up.
To be fair, I am very good at hiding things.
That seems reasonable.
Oh, do you have a sheep you hide things in too?
Well, it does look like the lining of her coat might be.
Oh, nice.
I feel like I should be insulted.
Well,
did you get a note too?
Yes. Stealthy and sly, monitors of the evening sky.
Okay, yours appears more character appropriate.
Well, at some point I assume we'll figure out what these mean, unless somebody has a particular idea at the moment.
Well, once we meet with our study group or we got the snacks, we can go over them, and I'm sure we can make sense of them if we all work together.
Okay, well, hopefully. Is this all we have in charms for the first day? That was a fairly straightforward day, I guess.
Well, I feel like I learned a lot.
I'm sure you did.
You only nearly lit us on fire.
I mean, we are proud of you, Stan. You almost lit us on fire.
Thanks.
So, kind of out of character, how long have we been going?
Yeah, I'm actually going to leave here in
I think it's about an hour, so why don't we stop here with our first class?
Stop point.
Okay.
We've met our group, and yeah, it's been fun. Charming, you might say.
I think we all learned a valuable lesson. Do not use intelligence as a dump stat in this game.
Well, we are at school, Stan.
Yes.
I aim to improve.
Maybe you can edge that intelligence up a bit.
Lean on the sheep a little more.
We have successfully completed our first introductory session of Hogwarts and Howlers. Everybody is still alive, maybe a bit singed. Most people slept in beds last night. All in all, it's been a good start.
A good start to our time at Hogwarts. And thank you all for joining us for our introductory session to Hogwarts and Howlers. You can find all of our stuff on mangumtalks.com. We have our Facebook page that has all of the Mangum Reads and Pottering Around updates, as well as a YouTube channel that'll have all of our Pottering Around extras. And thanks for joining us, and look forward to more delving into Hogwarts and Howlers. Till next time.
Mm-hmm.